Let's take a look over here at pinknews.co.uk. Excuse me, neighbor.
No.
All right, indeedly do. And this one, who put this up here? All right, this doesn't. Okay, Adam Maidment. All right, Adam Maidment for pinknews.co.uk. Under their tag trans. All right, so this is a Zeta Phi Beta sorority, and they adopted a diversity statement banning trans women. Let's take a look here. And so this is a McMurkin sorority, and they done came under fire for many details of a diversity statement that bans transgender women from joining,
Mm-hmm.
and this has been revealed. They were founded at the Howard University in Washington D.C. So, and this is one of them Negro, Black, colored folk, melanation universities. So you can expect that there are folks of whom I call black conservatives, no, they are not Republicans,
Mm-hmm.
who will call this the gay agenda, trying to make us moist or studs, one or the other. All right. So now they adopted this diversity statement, which declares an individual must be a cisgender woman to join the sorority, according to the Washington Blade.
Hmm.
And I mean, they have this shit in quotation marks, so I think they may have actually used the term cisgender, which makes them very aware of what they're doing.
Right.
The statement adds that sorority, quote, values all people regardless of race, age, gender. Then why is it HBCU? Gender expression, ability, disability, creed, religion, or walk of life. The Washington Blade reports that the Zeta Phi Beta has declined to comment further on their new policy, which is believed to have been adopted by the Zeta Phi Beta International Executive Board on January 12. All right, so keep the trans women out there.
Yeah.
All right,
And also
because they'll
just,
be a lot safer with the fellas.
oh yeah, I'm sure they'll be a lot safer surrounded by cis hetero men.
Q dogs or whoever the fuck. Which Q dogs are a bunch of
Ugh.
rapists. Just a reminder.
Was that Steve Harvey a Q dog?
I Steve Harvey graduated elementary school.
He did.
Oh shit.
He did.
Sure.
Yes.
I want to see his shit right next to Donald Trump's book reports. Yeah, I don't want to.
Why do you want to do that to
I don't want to see his grades. I just want to see his handwriting and shit like that.
Oh.
But yeah, remember that Twitter thread was up there. I snagged some screenshots, and I'll probably post them. But yeah, the Q dogs are a bunch of, or they're a rape squad, which is what a fraternity is. It's a class privilege rape squad. All right, let's take a look.
Yeah, he was a Q dog.
Okay.
Because he had them on his show and he got into it and started stepping with them, talking about them was the days.
Huh.
Which also, it's still the Tariq Nasheed thing is still in my head about that too.
Why?
Well, where he was like talking about like, oh, they was just some freaks. I'm like,
Yep.
yeah, pimping is not, yeah, no. But you know, as
Let's
it tends
see.
to go, yes.
So 1920 is when these Zeta Phi Beta folks were created by the Woolman ladies, who believed-ified that sorority elitism and socializing overshadowed the real mission of four progressive organizations and failed to address fully the societal mores, ills, prejudices, and poverty affecting humanity in general and the black community in particular. But them transgenderals are not actually black.
Did you just say transgenderals? No, seriously. So it started off as a progressive sorority, and now they're like, fuck trans women. Well, that's all right.
Progressive in 1920. They haven't progressed beyond that. That's pretty much where it ends right there. I mean, this is probably really just a white school of sorts. Hey, Roots of Royals. The website added that the sorority aims to encourage the highest standards of scholastic achievement and foster a greater sense of unity among its members. Well, the ones we let in. The sorority has over 100,000 members and 800 chapters across the world, including the nation of Africa, the nation of Europe, and the nation of Asia, and the nation of the Caribbean. I added in the nation of each because I hate that vague shit.
Nation of the Caribbean.
Yep. Because they just say the Caribbean, but it's like, really? So you have, is it evenly spread with members between the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico?
Well, Puerto Rico would be United States, but yeah.
No, that's just Caribbean. That's it.
Nobody respects Puerto Rico, goddammit.
Caribenito.
Caribenito.
See, now you know the facts.
You know that was a Taino word, by the way.
Yeah, I made it. When I was down there, we used to play a lot of handball. Huh. Yes, ma'am. An individual that goes by the name of Shanita Hubbard posted on the Twitter and said, as a Zeta Phi Beta, I'm incredibly disappointed by this decision. Our founders believed as sorority elitism was overshadowing the real mission of our organizations and wanted to create something different. Yet here we are. That's how Shanita Hubbard talks.
No, she doesn't.
And you can find Shanita Hubbard on the Twitter at MS Shanita Ren-E-E. There's a lot happening with the name these days. Kids are very hip.
Very hip.
Down with the groove.
What?
And writer and speaker Jamila Lemieux.
Yes.
Which is that the individual that have a white father? Black Panther white father?
I did not know he was white.
Yeah.
He was Black Panther. And there's a lot of suspicion about him actually just being an agent. I don't actually know how accurate that is.
Like he was working with the cops in Illinois, I think. Fun stuff. But the big problem is that I had to go look this shit up independently myself and see, oh, fuck, he is white. Oh, shit, he is kind of dirty. But you can't trust it initially because I first heard it from Tariq Nasheed.
Right.
Yeah, when he's the first source that you have, there could be sources before him that he just bit off of.
Right.
But he's the first person you hear something from. You're like, I have to fact check this to the hilt. I have to do so much reading.
Right.
Because he said it, and he ruins things when he says them.
What the fuck was the one? The Blue Vein Society?
The Blue Vein? It's not real.
It was in a book. A fictional story.
But no, it's a fucking secret society mulatto buffer class.
Yes. I feel very robbed. I would like my buffer class check, please.
No, you're not getting that. You're not getting that fucking ho chunks. You get none of that shit.
I'm not getting reparations anywhere.
But Leonardo DiCaprio, he is a member.
He is a member.
Fucking folks, we have over 800 episodes. A lot of inside jokes. Venus Leader is part indigenousified.
Yes.
Of three different tribes. Two. Ho-Chunk and Taino. The Ho-Chucks won't let her in because her hair is nigger nappy, and they're not a big fan of Africanized nigger nappy hair.
No, that's not actually right. No, they won't let you in because you have to be able to have a living relative that you can go back in a DNA. Basically, you have to take a DNA test to prove that you're related to a member of the tribe. So basically, anybody who's been adopted out cannot go back and test. So.
Oh, because you can't find anyone.
Right, because you don't actually know who you're related to because you were taken out and then they seal your documents and change all the names and yeah.
Oh, so they block you out.
Yeah.
Well, especially you also look like a nigger. These are not big on that.
Not a fan.
They want more of that Leonardo DiCaprio look. And they made him that because he said climate change exists at an award show, so that qualifies him.
That does qualify him.
That's right.
Yes.
So, again, you motherfuckers out there talking about settler privilege, y'all got niggas on y'all squad literally claiming white men to be down with them because they said climate change exists at an award show.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
It's a little wild.
And also, as I've been saying, niggas here, forced here, not actually settlers from Africa, And you folks that were already here, indigenous folks, salute, land you were already on, but not forcing me back to Africa. You say, let's hypothetically, white supremacy ends.
Right.
Make us leave. Like, because white supremacy ends, but does it end everywhere globally or just on this continent?
You know what? But that's the thing, though. To say like white supremacy ends is almost like vague in and of itself, because that means like white people don't have control, but that doesn't account for everybody else who's been influenced by white supremacy, right? So that doesn't like necessarily inherently erase anti-blackness that other people have, because there's other non-white people who have absolutely internalized anti-black messages from white supremacy. So like if all the white people died today, anti-blackness still a fucking problem.
Candace Owens still exists.
Shit.
Yeah. So again, flex. Beat the shit out of me and make me leave. Flex.
I still think that's like a very vocal minority though in Native communities. I really do.
Yeah.
Yeah, where they're like, oh fuck, everybody has to leave, and that means slave descendants too. I really do think that's a very vocal minority of people who have internalized anti-black messages from white supremacy, honestly. So
yeah. All right. Fucking. It's not
Tangents.
even over. Yeah, it's not even fucking up. But you know what? Internalized shit, like people that ban trans women from their little classist groups.
But it's progressive. It's a progressive sorority.
In the 1920s. Which was like, hey, gals, we can show our ankles. Whatever the fuck it is they're doing. Hey, the fellas are gonna let me have a wine cooler. So this is a quote from the daughter of a white man. I'd been bracing for our orgs to start addressing trans identity, but had assumed the issue of contention would be membership status if a member has transitioned, not jumping out to ban trans women for literally no reason, end quote. Okay, what about trans men? See, because this that trans denial side of transphobia,
right?
That there's just no such thing as trash. You're playing trans. You're playing dress up,
right?
So, would you like actively attempt to recruit trans men?
No, they wouldn't.
Then also, how do you find them? Because again, because of like Eurocentric beauty standards, and I've seen some trans niggas say this, that it's easier to pass as a trans man than a trans woman.
Yeah.
So like again, how do you find a trans man? You're just like, that's a young looking guy.
Right.
Probably rides a skateboard.
No, I don't think, even if they knew trans men, I don't think they would actively recruit trans men. And they would call it like self-hating or whatever. Because there's still like the trans denial, like you said, but they'd be like, oh well, this person is a woman but doesn't even want to be a woman, so like fuck them kind of thing. I think is where they would go with it.
Oh, a little swerfy turfy.
Oh.
Those are always the same people.
Always. It's not a Venn diagram, it's a circle.
Yeah. A circle trying to fit into a square peg or something or other, man. The confusing metaphors. I'm practicing white supremacy right now. And another individual that has a very in-your-face style of name, Black Queer Femme, on the Twitter, has they said the policy was gross and disgusting.
Yeah.
All right, so diversity right there.
Yes.
Adding that quote, if any group of people should understand the harmful impact of the regulation of womanhood, it is cis Black women.
Yeah.
One could even add in cis indigenousified women that look like niggers. So they're kind of getting confused. Nigger woman. How's this 25 minutes? All right, whatever. OneTellerMedia.com. Very responsible program. And we have the link to the Amazon wish list in there. Reviews. All right. You're on you're using an Apple device, that purple application that says podcast. Go in there, drop a review. If you don't have time to type up a review like, yo, these niggas is the wildest motherfuckers on the planet, son, just hit the 5 stars and hit done. You don't have to always type up a full essay, but them shits bump niggas up,
right,
as far as like those podcast searches go.
Yes.
All right. And let that be that. And I'm also thinking about changing the name of the program again.
To what?
The Phoenix and Williams Show.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Really narrowing shit down.
Really?
It's a far cry from the original. Some people are like, the original? Yeah, the Black Podcast? No, nigga. When I first started this thing, I went to Joanne Fabric and did a really shitty job at making a costume, and I called this shit Father Teresa's Wine Cellar. And I dressed up like Mother Teresa, and I lifted weights and had my arms out and took a bunch of pictures for it when I first started this whole thing. Father Teresa's Wine Cellar, which is why it's winecellarmedia.com. So the wine cellar thematicals of it all will always be there. Yes, the thematicals.
Okay.
Theomatically speaking. Fucking that'll always be there. But I'm okay with being fluid with names and titles and formats and whatnot. All right? Let that be that. Patreon.com/Wine Cellar Media Fund is our salary and operating costs.
Yes.
And PayPal.me/Phoenix and William is where heads like Hope Loco just came through and dropped a hot one on us. And the homie, what's that say? I think there's Janae V came and dropped one on us. And like, yeah, y'all folks are literally helping to repair the car again. Because after a while, shit like brake pads wear out.
Yes.
So you gotta do that.
Yes.
And hey, fucking gotta replace tires.
Yes.
So we're fucking doing that. And then that gets me to and from the factory, grocery store, basically they're doing swap shit. And yeah, a lot like the factory doesn't pay enough to do all that.
Right.
And if you folks weren't hitting up the podcast, I'd have to go down to I don't know, I maybe might go to the Walmart by the factory so I can do overnight stocking. And then when that shift is over, right down the street, just go straight to the factory and clock in there. But I don't have to do that. I get to do the podcast and riff and rant this fucking socialified Justice Areno shit.
Entertain.
Yeah. Okay, and it's not 25 minutes. I read that wrong. 17 minutes. We're making a lot of sense here.
Are we?
Yes.
Yes.
Buddy Chief.
I have doubts.
All right. WineCellarMedia.com. Take a look at the website. Changed a few things up. Looks a little different. Might change it again. Got a couple more days to work on it.
Yes.
Please be as safe as possible wherever you whore. I gotta hit stop right here on the YouTube. Hold on, YouTube. I gotta stop you.